So you've started riding some small jumps and it's got scary fast. And you've watched all the how-to videos and the technique makes sense, but somehow the reality is starting to feel like a fast track to hospital. Well, that sounds like a problem. Jumping bikes is one of the most visual and enticing parts of mountain biking. The moment you imagine a great MTB ride, you soon arrive at the glorious visions of getting air. It's the poster boy move of the sport, but what if you have, like many of us, realised that jumping mountain bikes isn't as easy as Sam Reynolds or Brendan Fairclough makes it look? In fact, for most of us, the thought of hitting a 90-foot jump like that one is ridiculous. It would be a nightmare. Actually, clearing any jump, even a very small bike length jump, that's a really hard skill to learn, especially if you've arrived at mountain biking in your adult years, where the fountain of youth isn't intoxicating you to think you're indestructible. The youngsters just don't scare that easy because they don't have the facts. This stuff is dangerous. And the kids just don't realise it. But you do, so now you need to approach the whole process methodically and build a solid skill that's going to fill you with confidence and excitement about what you can and, importantly, what you can't jump. So where do you start? First things first, I would start pouring through Instagram and follow anyone who you know who can jump and likes to show it. Then just start watching. Great, eh? What a brilliant tip. Just by watching them ride, you're building an understanding of how to do it. And let this enjoyable viewing sink in. Don't make it a chore, just enjoy the riding and visualise yourself doing this stuff. Because with a bit of knowledge of the basic theory and some practice, you will soon be sending some big jumps that you just never imagined were possible, and with confidence too. So, it's basic theory and practice equals big jumps with confidence. The basic theory is centred around an understanding of the science about what is physically happening when you hit a jump on a mountain bike. So to start, let's remember that you're the heavy object in the scenario. In motorcycle jumping, for example, it's more of a proportional distribution of weight. Those bikes are heavy and you can also power yourself off the lip with the power of the bike. But in mountain biking, you're the heavy object. When jumping a bicycle, you're the heavy piece in the puzzle. The bike comes with you and it's your weight you're setting up to fly through the air. Look at him go! That's good, wasn't it? Another thing to bear in mind is your brakes still work in the air. Sounds crazy, but even after you've taken off, the rear brake is still very much your friend. If you have a very high front wheel in the air and you feel like the bike is getting away from you, then a handful of rear brake is going to lock the back, which will result in the front end pitching downwards and forwards, which could really help when things are tipping the wrong way. So remember, your brakes are your friend. Just like following the jumpers on Instagram is an amazing way to have the technique sink in, well, actually riding with others who can jump does the same and more. Obviously, you get their experience and knowledge on tap, you get to watch them hit the very jumps you're considering to take on, and you can even have them tow you into the lip of the jump. Doing this means you have all the calculations of speed and approach covered. The confidence this will give you is going to make an amazing difference, I promise you that. Obviously, the bit in the air is still your problem, but with a tow-in, you've removed a few hurdles, so give that a try. Other riders who jump will know exactly how useful it is and will be more than likely to only be too willing to tow you in. Another confidence booster is building your own jump. If you have a suitable spot to play with, then you'll learn so much by starting really small, building those takeoff lips and realising how the shape of the ramp affects your trajectory through the air. Once you've played with your own build, you will start to recognise the shapes of jumps that either suit you and your ability, or a particular jump is a kind of ramp that you aren't confident with or able to cope with at this point in your riding. So, good information to have. Think about what I've said and see if there's anything in there that can help you progress your skills and gain the confidence you need. If you've literally just started riding jumps, then start small and on jumps that lend themselves to a developing rider. Tabletop jumps that don't need to be cleared are perfect, like that one. You can experiment with them in a far safer way than a double that must be cleared. Great places to find nice tabletops are skate parks, pump tracks and BMX tracks. Alternatively, there are kicker ramps you can buy that will really help you create great practice jumps with forgiving landing areas that help you build your confidence. At the end of the day, confidence is what it's all about. Don't rush the process and let the confidence build. As you incrementally improve, the confidence will grow. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and how did I do? Did I solve the problem? Let me know in the comments down below. And also tell us your jumping stories and experience too. Remember, it's not just me you're telling, but all the other comment readers too, who might really need to know about your experience. It could be a big help to them. Thanks for watching, and click over here for more Problems Solved, and I'll see you next time.